Hello everybody, and welcome to another video of Green Square Talks Battlebots. And I am here with another prediction podcast for episode 4 of Battlebots 2021. And so yeah, I had a pretty good week in the last one as for predictions, including a few of my big takes were right, even though I think the bigger upset that happened in that episode I did not predict. A few of the other upsets I did happen to predict. So I would still call that a good week. 5-3 was my record, I believe, with a few close ones and stuff. And yeah, so yeah, we got another stacked fight card here, including we have some robots returning for their second fight, at least that we know of, because I know a few people in Discord have been mentioning theories that some of these robots might have potentially had like an untelevised battle or something like that, which that wouldn't surprise me personally if that was the case or something like that, if that's even accurate. But yeah, I'm assuming we might find out during the episode and stuff. But yeah, like I said, pretty stacked fight card. I'm looking at that first matchup there. I'm looking at the main event as well. So that is going to be a fierce one. Uh, let's see, we got a few other big names, and we got some robots coming in with their first fight. Some of them their first fight in a couple seasons, and a couple of them their first fight ever. So I think this is going to be a terrific episode, and yeah, let's go ahead and begin. Where the first matchup here, I see Malice and Jackpot, and that means free points for me in King of Draft because I drafted both of those robots in my league, and yeah, because they are two favorites of mine, and it's a little hard to watch those two love bots fight, quote unquote. And yeah, I always love that stuff that Malice and Jackpot do on social media and stuff, like all the relationship stuff. It's so much fun and stuff, and gotta admire it. So, but yeah, this is an interesting one. I personally think this is a much harder one to call than what a lot of people might think, because on one hand, Jackpot has the design advantage weapon wise, because Malice is probably not gonna win a weapon on weapon shot if between these two. And between the weapons Malice has, I would probably predict they're gonna go with a similar weapon that they went with for the Tantrum fight. And I really hope Malice figured out the weapon issues, because fortunately it wasn't a belt this time, like the last few fights that where they lost their weapon. But yeah, I hope they got that figured out for this fight and would be able to have their weapon going for a bit longer. But and then on the other hand, Malice is a lot faster. They're a bit more maneuverable. I personally think they are better driven too, and I feel like if these robots took hit after hit from a hard-hitting spinner like Tombstone, I think Malice would last longer between the two of them. So I see this one as a really tough one to call and stuff, but yeah. My prediction is going to be Jackpot for this one, mostly because of that weapon design advantage, but this is not a confident pick. Like, I was setting up my confidence poll predictions earlier, and I believe if I remember right, this was my second least confident pick of these 8, with the main event being my least confident, because that's going to be a beast of a fight. But yeah, kind of like I said, like that is a really tough fight to call, and I really feel like that could go either way. And yeah, Jackpot revealed they were gonna go with the Heartbreaker spinner for this one. I think that'll be that'll be epic to see. And we've seen from the trailer that these two are gonna go weapon on weapon at least once in this fight, but I feel like this is going to be a fun fight either way, and I could definitely see this battle going either way. I would not be surprised if I got this prediction wrong and stuff, but yeah. Either way, Jackpot's looking to go 2-0 after this one. Malice is looking to avoid falling to 0-2. And yeah, I think that probably about covers it for this one. Let's get to the next one where we got Ribbot and Overhaul. And man, like the big question here is why didn't Ribbot get a harder opponent here? Because, like, Ribbot made it to the top 8 last season before bowing out against one of the greatest robots in existence, Black Dragon. and we know Pori would agree with that. So, but I feel like they would. I feel like they should have been given an opponent that made like a top 32 or top 16 last season, not Overhaul. Like I'm not saying Overhaul's a bad robot, because like even though we haven't seen them since 2018, I'm really glad to see Overhaul back. But yeah, I don't know what's up with the schedule makers here. But but in terms of my prediction, I think Overhaul is gonna get wrecked in this one. Like I would probably guess Ribbot would go with the vertical spinner once again, because Overhaul's got because like in 2018 Overhaul had defense configurations for horizontals, but then they weren't really prepared that much for vertical spinners, and I feel like vertical spinners are kind of their big kryptonite and stuff, and so I would predict Ribbot would go with that, and I think Ribbot's gonna dominate this one, similar to how they dominated the fight with Defender, but. Yeah, but I really question the strength and schedule that Ribbot is getting here and stuff. Like, even though Defender and Overhaul are definitely challenging opponents in their own ways and stuff, why isn't Ribbot getting like a robot that made it far last season and stuff? But yeah, enough complaining about that, because I'm assuming Civilian has already been talking about that in one of our Discord group chats, and I guarantee he's going to be talking about it on the podcast of the episode review for this one. So yeah, my prediction is going to be Ribbot for this one. I think Ribbot's going to go 2-0 in this one, but who knows what's going to happen? Like I'm ready to be surprised. Like I could see Overhaul taking it, because Charles Guam is a really good driver too, just like David Jin is, and if Overhaul manages to get Ribbot from the right angle, they could potentially do some serious damage. So who knows what's going to happen here? All right, fight number 3. Two robots who are having their first fight of the season here in this episode. We got Blade and Scorpios. And Blade is very high on my list as for robots I was very hyped to see for this season. Because like Blade is very famous. That design is very famous in King of Bots, mostly because like the big fight that I remember is I don't remember the name of their opponent, but basically they went weapon on weapon with their opponent, and they basically smashed their opponent to bits with that one hit, but then they flipped themselves over and immobilized themselves. Fortunately, they won the fight because their opponent got counted out first between the two of them, but it was entertaining to see. It's going to be great to see this robot at Battlebots. And their opponent is Scorpios here. Scorpios who made the top 32 and then won the Ice Wave bounty and stuff. But yeah, and my prediction is going to be Scorpios for this one, but I'm nervous about this one because like Blade is definitely a force to be reckoned with and stuff. And Battlebots has been hyping this matchup a little bit with the picture they posted for this episode. And yeah, while it does look like Blade's weapon did stop spinning, it looked like Scorpio's was pushing right on the weapon and stuff, if you kind of get what that means, like jamming up the weapon. So I don't know if that's true, if their weapons stopped or anything like that. But either way, Scorpios I feel like has the design advantage, because that front armor on Scorpios is really thick. And so what Orbeez probably going to need to do here is hit the right mark on Scorpios, like what Bloodsport did last season, and potentially split open the frame, or potentially get to those wheels, like what Tombstone was trying to do and stuff. But yeah, my prediction is going to be Scorpios for this one. And because I think Zach Loyal definitely has the driving ability to be able to box rush Blade, stop that weapon from getting up to full speed, and then just drop the hammer saw. Plus, I can't wait to see the new hammer saw in Scorpios. I think it'll definitely have a lot more knockout potential than what they've had in the past and stuff. So, all right. Next up, another fight that I also find a little bit questionable by the selection committee and stuff, but yeah, Tombstone and Mammoth. And I'm wondering, why would they give Mammoth Tombstone? Because, like, on one hand, this could be another huge surprise that Mammoth could pull for us. On the other hand, this is like one of the worst horizontal spinners that Mammoth could have drawn for this one. And yeah, this is another one where I'm questioning, like, were they going for, like, giving Tombstone a free victory? Just so that way they're 1-1 and can't confirm that they'll go 0-3? Or are they trying to get drama going by hoping Mammoth can pull off another major upset? I don't think drama was the right word, but you kind of get what I'm trying to say. Like, yeah, try to get another upset pulled and stuff. Because on one hand, yeah, because basically on one hand, Mammoth has surprised us multiple times throughout the past few seasons. Because like their victory over Huge was a big surprise for me. Their victory over Copperhead was a big surprise for me. Even the win over Hijinks was a big surprise for me. Even though I think that fight was a lot closer than what a lot of people might think. So, but this is Tombstone here, not Hijinks. There's a difference with that. Because like if Tombstone hits even one pipe or wheel and stuff, Mammoth's probably going to fall apart on that, and it could end in a very destructive knockout. And yeah, Mammoth's going to have to be very careful. I think the only way I really see Mammoth winning this one is if they can use the lifter to get Tombstone knocked off balance, and then use the kinetic energy through that big spinner on Tombstone against itself, similar to how Bite Force managed to do that and split a wheel off, or potentially like Captain Shredder did a little bit, and see if Tombstone can use that kinetic energy against itself and get a tooth off, which is what caused the lithium battery fire here in that robot. So yeah, but yeah, in terms of my prediction, I'm planning on going Tombstone for this one because I think the odds of Mammoth winning are a lot more possible than what a lot of people might think, but it's not enough to make me want to go really spicy and pick Mammoth for this one. But I'm ready to be surprised personally. Like I said, I feel like this fight could go either way. Well, I don't know exactly about that. Like I feel like it is possible for Mammoth to win this one and stuff through ideas that I mentioned, but I feel like they're going to have a harder time taking down Tombstone than Hijinks, so alright, so now on to the next battle. Fight number 5, where we have Lucky and Tantrum. This is another one that I find questionable too. Like, I think what Battlebots should have done is we see Ribbot and Overhaul in the second fight, Lucky and Tantrum down below. I think we should have seen Ribbot and Tantrum and Lucky and Overhaul. And I'm not saying that just because I know Pori's a big fan of Ribbot and Civilian likes Tantrum and is thinking about switching over to having Tantrum as predicted champ for this season. And then have Lucky and Overhaul fight, but we got these two instead. But I was gonna say, if I was gonna go spicy on a matchup, I was really thinking about eyeing this one because like on one hand, I feel like because like Tantrum doesn't have the design advantage in this fight that they had in the Malice fight, and this is one situation where I think whoever wins the ground game here is gonna win this fight because I do feel like this fight's gonna be a lot closer than what a lot of people might imagine. Because like sure if because like Lucky is because like Malice might be incredibly durable, but so is Lucky. And then Lucky's got a flipper rather than a horizontal spinner this time around. And also, by the way, glad to see Lucky back and stuff, because even though Lucky always gets incredibly unlucky with their schedule, it's a really fun robot to watch. So yeah, in terms of my prediction, I'm gonna go Tantrum for this one, mostly because I feel like based off of what we've seen in both Tantrum's first fight and Lucky in past seasons, Tantrum, I feel like it's going to be the faster robot, the more maneuverable robot, including I love the driving by Tantrum. Like I wasn't too concerned that without Aaron Hill as the driver that Tantrum was going to do poor, but that driver definitely exceeded what I was expecting to see from Tantrum, and I'm thinking this fight's going to go the full 3 minutes. I think this is going to go to the judges because one thing that did not really impress me that much with Tantrum in the fight with Malice, because even though this isn't kind of like the purpose of Tantrum and stuff, if you kind of get what I'm stating by that, their weapon didn't seem to do that much damage. Because, like, yeah, they did send Malice up into the air a few times, but other than Malice's spinner breaking, there wasn't really anything noticeable damage-wise to me. I could be wrong about that very much, so I expect there were probably a bunch of scratches and gashes in like the top and the bottom plates of Malice, but including those few hits that gave Malice some airtime were wicked though. But yeah, like I feel like Lucky's got a good shot to survive a bunch of those hits from Tantrum, assuming they are about as reliable and durable as they were last time they were at Battlebots. But yeah, I think Malice, or I think Tantrum definitely has the speed, maneuverability, and driving ability to outdrive Lucky. And I'm predicting a repeat of Gamma 9 versus Tantrum, but with the only difference being this fight goes the full 3 minutes. So, alright, I think that about covers it. Let's go on to the next battle Ghost Raptor and Glitch. Okay, this is interesting here. Because, like, on one hand, we got Ghost Raptor making their first appearance after a disappointing 2-3 last season with two wins that I personally would not say they were exactly good because like Chomp was one thing that was probably one of the worst fights of the season in my opinion, and there was a good reason why that fight was untelevised. And then Deadlift, they got some nice hits in at the beginning, but then it was all Deadlift from there until Deadlift started having issues and lost due to knockout because of that. So, but their opponent here is Glitch, and Glitch has been. I'm a little hyped for Glitch here, and because like, yeah, we know they're gonna take on Hydra based off of images and trailer clips and stuff, but yeah, Glitch has some really interesting design features that I can't wait to see in the battle box. Because like, on one hand, they got that egg beater there, which while I am concerned about the reach of that like I think it's got potential if the weapon can connect. And on the other hand is they're also omni-wheel drive. And if you don't know what that is, Shatter is the big robot that uses those as well. So, which I think that's a lot of interesting stuff to see and hear. So, as of my prediction, I'm planning to go Glitch for this one. I'm going to give the rookie a shot. It did not work out for me when I predicted Claw Viper and Pardon My French to give the rookie a chance and go with them for my prediction, but I feel like Glitch. I got confidence, so I think Glitch can do this and manage to get the win over Ghost Raptor here. Cause like I don't think Ghost Raptor's a bad bot. Don't get me wrong about that. Cause like for example, I used Free Agency in King of Draft and swapped Rusty for Ghost Raptor, and if Ghost Raptor wins, they'll get me points. So yeah, I do like yeah. This is a tough one to call just because like Ghost Raptor on one hand we've seen last season, and it should be exciting to see what sort of improvements Ghost Raptor made for this season. And it's always fun and that robot's had several fun fights. And then there's Glitch, whom we haven't seen in the battle box yet, and that kind of makes this really hard. But my pick is going to be Glitch for this one, and yeah, I have no idea what to expect in this one, and that just means that this is going to be a really fun fight to see and stuff. So, all right, I'm going to go down to the YouTube exclusive fight next. So we got Retrograde and Rampage here, and this is kind of like the last one where I have no idea what to expect in this one because like on one hand, Retrograde hasn't been in the battle box yet. Like, the team is experienced because they come from Team Bloodsport. And then on the other side, we got Rampage, who had two fights last season. And they had a controversial fight, well, a fight that I found to be controversial with Black Widow, and then got wiped out by Fusion in the bounties, the Beta bounty. But yeah, I've heard this is a really hard fight for me to call and stuff, just because like we haven't seen, because like both of these robots, we haven't seen them enough, or if all, for me to really make too many like assumptions about this one. But yeah, in terms of design wise, I like the improvements that Rampage made. Like that, even though it's kind of like a four-wheeled vert now, which some people have been complaining that there's too many of those, which you're honestly not wrong about that. I'd like to see like a much more higher variety of weapon types, but like I'm honestly gonna go with Rampage on this one. Like I think I'm gonna give them a shot, but I would not be surprised if I'm wrong about this. This is one of my less confident picks as well, but yeah, like what I said, I have no idea what to expect in this one. So yeah. Alright. I think that'll probably do it for that one. Let's get to the main event, where this is gonna be a beast of a main event. Because, like, these two robots are at the top or near the top of my power rankings from the last podcast, if you check those out and stuff. But, yeah, this is going to be a fun main event. And, yeah, because, like, Jameson Go, Calvin Eva, they're both super aggressive drivers. Two robots with devastating weapons, really low ground game, and I'm expecting this is going to be an absolute brawl of a fight. Yeah, so in terms of my predictions, my plan is to go Sawblaze for this one. And yeah, this is my least confident pick. And yeah, like what I said, this is a really hard one to call because I feel like this fight could definitely go either way and stuff. Because I could see Sawblaze winning it, I could see Mad Catter winning it. The two factors I see is who is going to win the ground game here? Which I'm kind of leaning towards Sawblaze, because like Sawblaze and Hydra last season had the best ground game between in like the entire competitive field from what I've seen and stuff. I could very much be wrong about that. And then the other one is who can get the better hits in, because I feel like Mad Catter has the advantage in that one, mostly because I don't think Sawblaze would want to go weapon on weapon with a big vertical spinner like Mad Catter's. So, who knows what direction this fight's going to go. Especially since both of these two robots are coming off of such dominating victories. Sawblaze with a dominating victory against Minotaur, and Mad Catter with a dominating victory against Yeti. And yeah, like I said, this fight could really go either way, in my opinion. And yeah, my pick is gonna be Sawblaze, but I would not be surprised if it goes the other way. So, and yeah, I'm expecting this is gonna be an absolute slugfest, like the last main event was, as Copperhead and Lockjaw is very back and forth, and I would not be surprised if this was the same way. So, yeah, I think whoever wins this fight is gonna have secured themselves not only a spot in the top 32, but a really high seed is I think whoever wins this fight could potential. I think as long as they don't bomb in their third fight, I think they've secured themselves a top 10 seed in the top 32. So, yeah. My pick's going to be Sawblaze, but I would not be surprised if it goes the other way. Alright, I think it's now time to get to. Let's go ahead and review my predictions. Alright, here they are. So, yeah, my picks for this episode are Jackpot, Ribbot, Scorpios, Tombstone, Tantrum, Glitch, Sawblaze, and Rampage for the YouTube exclusive fight. This is going to be a really fun episode, I feel like. Like, several of these fights could go either way, and then there are several of them that I feel like an upset could possibly occur in this one. And yeah, so be sure to reply with your predictions down below. I guarantee you probably don't agree with all of my predictions, and that's completely fine, because like I said, several of these fights could go either way, and we could see upsets occurring for a few others. Because like, yeah, we saw I would say three upsets last episode with Riptide, Fusion, and P1 all getting victories over their opponents, and yeah, who knows what's gonna happen. So all right, I think that'll probably close it out for this podcast. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like, subscribe for more stuff, because the plan is to do another episode review podcast as usual over this stuff. Be sure to reply down below with what your predictions are. As I said before, would love to hear them, and whether you get all of them right, one of them right, none of them right, four of them right. Like, I respect it completely. So, oh yeah, thanks for watching this episode. I will hopefully see you next time.